So it's been a while since I posted on my YouTube channel, but now I'm back and I'm going to want to make more videos. So what really inspired me to make videos is that I've been on YouTube a lot, as I always am, and a lot of Filipino culture videos has been recommended to me, like talking about Filipino culture, the good, the bad, and all of that. And what I've noticed with these videos is that they're very surface level, and a lot of them are quite inaccurate, and I want to tell you about the real Filipino culture, about what Filipinos really are like underneath it all, underneath the surface. So I want to make this a multiple part series, but the first one are just really like unique parts of Filipino culture. So let's start. So the first one is having nicknames. So Filipino nicknames are quite unique. It's very common to have nicknames that just repeat. So for example, Junjun, Janjan, Mikmik, Dodong, Kai Kai, etc. But not only that, I noticed that with Westerners, when you shorten long names, for example, you have Janine, right? So Janine's nickname would probably be Jan in Westerners, but Filipinos, it would be Nin. So Janine, if somebody's named Janine, if you live in other countries, you'd probably be hey Jan, but in the Philippines, you'd be Nin. Hi Nin. That's the first one. Another example would be, for example, Christopher. In Western countries, it would be Chris. Hi Chris. But here in the Philippines, it would be Per. Asa ka Per? Nagunsa ka Per. That's the first example. So our nicknames are different. Western countries tend to have their nicknames the first syllable, but here is the last syllable. Another weird thing about Filipino names is we don't really follow the first name, middle name kind of thing. So for example, if your name is Mary Jane Smith, so Mary would be your first name in other countries, and Jane would be your middle name, and Smith obviously would be your last name. But if you were in the Philippines, Mary Jane Smith, Mary Jane would be your first name. Mary Jane. Two of those names will be your first name. And like, okay, that's so weird. So what's the middle name? Your middle name is your mother's maiden name. So let's just say your mother's maiden name was Sanchez. So it would be Mary Jane Sanchez Smith. So Sanchez would be your middle name in the Philippines, which is your mother's maiden name. So that's why sometimes, like, I just get confused when they say, oh, my middle name is Ray, it's Sarah Ray. I'm like, so Ray is your mother's maiden name? But nope, scratch that in the Philippines. So in the Philippines, all of your names are your first name. So some people even have like 4 or 5 first names. But your middle name would be your mother's maiden name. And then you have your last name. So that's the second unique, weird thing about Filipino culture. Now, the third one is our unit of measure. Okay, so technically, officially, we go through the metric system. Officially, everything is in the metric system. But, we also use the English system and the metric system at the same time. So when we're talking about distance, we use kilometers. So kilometers and meters when we're talking about distance of places from each other. But when we talk about height, we use feet and inches. So I'm 5'1", she's 5'6", he's 6'1", although nobody here is 6'1", okay? So if you tell me height in centimeters as a Filipino, I do not know what you're talking about. If that is tall, if that is short, if that's medium or normal, I will have no idea if you tell me in centimeters. It has to be in feet and inches Why? I don't know. And with clothes as well. Like with waistlines, we're like 26, 32, 38. But if you say it in centimeters, I don't know what you're talking about. So with clothing and with height, we use the English system. But with weight, we use kilograms. So yeah, that's what we do. We talk about weight in kilograms. So our market, when you go to our market, everything would be in kilograms. Kilograms, 150 pesos per kilo, etc. But newborn babies are in pounds. Ask me why? I have no idea. But newborn babies are in pounds. Like, how many pounds is your newborn baby? Oh, my newborn baby is like 9 pounds, 7 pounds. Sorry, it's a big baby, it's 10 pounds. But ask me, like, it's a 4-kilogram baby. I don't know, is that a big baby? I have no idea. So with babies, we talk about pounds. With height, we use feet and inches. In measuring our clothes and our bodies, we use inches. Like our bust line, our bras are in inches, our jeans are in inches, but we weigh ourselves in kilograms. How that happened, I have no idea. And there are also like interesting terms. They're English, but we use them in very strange ways in the Philippines. So the first one is bathroom. That word does not exist. So if one time I went to a mall and I was looking for somebody who was working there because I need to pee so bad, and I don't know why I had my American English on, and I was like, "Hi, te, where's your bathroom?" And she was like, "What?" She like had no idea what I was talking about. I was like, and then she was like, "Kuan, ma'am, ang CR na mo na dito, like our CR is there, but di makabath. Like you can't take a bath there." I was like, but I had to pee, so I couldn't even continue the conversation. I was just like, "Okay, te, salamat. Okay, te, thank you," and just went. So if you say bathroom, people are gonna think you're gonna bathe. So we actually say CR, C, the letter C and the letter R, and it stands for comfort room. And we should say, "Where's your CR? I need to use the CR." Because if you say bathroom, people are gonna be like, "Why are you taking a bath in the mall? Weirdo." Also, another word that is used is like taking a bath. So when I spoke to like Japanese people, it's like, "Oh, Filipinos like baths," and they think that we bathe in bathtubs. We don't have bathtubs at all. And it's like, "Oh, so you take a shower?" I was like, no. Filipinos also don't have showers. I mean, some Filipino houses have showers, but I would say it's like around 10-15%. But most people don't. We just have a bucket and a ladle. Is it a ladle? No, a dipper. A bucket and a dipper. Or we could say balde and tabo, or balde ug kabo in Bisaya. And that's it. We take the bucket and then we pour the dipper on our heads. We say take a bath, but when other people from other countries hear take a bath, they think, "Oh, we're in a bathtub." We're not. Most Filipinos haven't seen a bathtub in their lives, and if they did, they would think it's disgusting to like stew in your own filth. Yeah. And I think the last kind of strange thing about the Philippines is that Filipinos hate being alone. And I want to do a more in-depth video about this, but to keep it short, is like being alone is strange. Like, it's a negative thing. Like, for example, if you're sitting outside anywhere just by yourself, people would think you're weird. Like, they would think that you're crazy. And if you're living alone in a house, you're not married, and you're living by yourself, that's weird. Because I live by myself, and the most comments are by yourself? Why would you be by yourself? And they do not like that. They cannot understand because we're very community-driven people, and we live with our family, or we get married, or we live with friends, we have roommates. But to live alone is such a strange like concept. Like being alone, it's so hard for Filipinos to wrap around that idea. Like if you're walking by yourself, you're like, "Oh, you're alone. Who's with you? What? Why are you by yourself?" Like people would really ask you that question. Like, or if you go to the beach and you would just lie down, read a book, enjoy the nature, they'd be like, "Ala, naginusara lagi ka. Kinsa, asa man koyo?" And you'll be like, "No, it's just me." And they'll be like, "Why?" It's so bizarre for Filipinos to see other people alone. You have to be at least with one other person. Like if I were to just sit somewhere and, people watch, they'd be like, "Hi, hi, young lady, like you're by yourself. Are you okay?" And you'll be like, "Yeah, I'm okay." I don't know why it's so strange, especially in the countryside. In big cities, just like any other big cities, no one really has the time to talk with each other. But if you're in a suburb, in a countryside area, or a smaller ish city, it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be weird for you to be by yourself, especially as a woman. With other men, it's weird to be by themselves, but people leave men alone, and give them the respect, and doesn't like to ask them so many questions. But if you're a young woman, especially, and even if you're older, even if you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, it's weird to be by yourself. And that is like the first question that they ask you. Like if you're in a grocery store and you meet someone you know, by the way, also Filipino culture, you need to talk with everybody you know. And if not, then you're rude and you immediately hate that person. But if you bump into the grocery store and they're like, "Hey, who are you with? Oh, you're by yourself? Why?" And you're just like, "I like my company." But no, nobody gets it. Nobody. Hi, thank you for making it this far into the video. So those are just a few of the unique things about Filipino culture that is not often talked about. And so if you have any comments, or if you have any questions about what I discuss in the video, please write them down below. If you like the video, you could give it a thumbs up. Next week, I'm going to make a video about Filipino beauty standards, beauty practices, and also hygiene. So if you're interested to see more of these kinds of topics, subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.